Snoop Dogg had always been known for his laid-back vibe, smooth rhymes, and larger-than-life personality. But few people knew about his generous heart. One evening, while scrolling through his phone, he stumbled upon a video of a struggling taxi driver who had been working double shifts just to make ends meet. The video showed an elderly man named Harold, who had been driving cabs for over 40 years, yet still couldn't afford to retire. Snoop leaned back in his chair, exhaling deeply. "Man, that ain't right. 40 years grindin' and still strugglin'. Nah, we gotta change that." An idea sparked in his mind. What if he went undercover as a taxi driver? Not only would it be fun, but it would also give him a chance to connect with everyday people, see their struggles, their stories. And maybe, just maybe, he could change a life. The next morning, Snoop had his team hook him up with a full disguise, gray beard, a cap pulled low over his forehead, a loose-fitting jacket, and a pair of thick glasses. With a fake taxi license in hand, he hit the streets of Los Angeles in a beat-up yellow cab. His first few passengers were an interesting mix: business people rushing to meetings, tourists asking for sightseeing recommendations, and teenagers glued to their phones. But it wasn't until the afternoon that he picked up a young mother, struggling to carry a baby stroller while holding onto her toddler's hand. Snoop rolled down the window. "Hey now, you need a ride?" The woman looked up, exhausted. "Oh, thank you. I wasn't sure how I was gonna get home. The bus is late, and my kids are so tired." Snoop jumped out, helped her load the stroller in the trunk, and even gave her son a high five before getting back in the driver's seat. "You had a long day, huh?" Snoop asked, glancing at her in the rearview mirror. She let out a deep sigh. "Yeah. I work 2 jobs, and my husband's in the military, so he's not home much. I just do what I have to for my babies." Snoop felt a pang in his heart. He reached into his pocket, pretending to check something, and subtly left a few $100 bills in the side compartment of the door. "Aight, we here," he said as he pulled up to her apartment complex. The woman reached for her wallet, but Snoop stopped her. "Nah, don't even worry 'bout it. Just take care of them babies." Tears welled up in her eyes. "Wait, what?" "No, I can't, you can," Snoop insisted with a wink. As she stepped out, she noticed the cash. Her hand flew to her mouth. "Oh my God, sir, who are you?" But Snoop was already pulling away, smiling. His next passenger was a teenager who looked frustrated, constantly tapping his phone. "Yo, lil homie, what's wrong?" Snoop asked. The kid sighed. "My dad said if I don't get a job, I can't go to college. I've applied everywhere, but no one calls back." Snoop nodded. "Tell you what, I know a couple places hirin'. You ever think about workin' at a studio?" The kid's eyes widened. "Like, music? That's my dream." Snoop handed him a business card. "Call that number. Tell Big Dogg sent you." The kid gasped. "Wait, Big Dogg? Are you?" But before he could say anything, Snoop put a finger to his lips, grinning. "Shoo. Just make the call, kid." As the sun began to set, Snoop's final passenger of the day stepped into the cab. It was Harold, the elderly cab driver from the video Snoop had watched the night before. "Where to, big man?" Snoop asked. Harold chuckled. "Back to the taxi company lot. Long day, and I got another shift in a few hours." Snoop frowned. "You been driving all day and still got another shift?" Harold sighed. "Yeah. Been doing this for 40 years. My wife's medical bills piled up, and even though she's gone now, I still have debt. Retirement? That's a dream for other people." Snoop was quiet for a moment. Then he smiled. "Aight, tell you what. Let's make a little pit stop." He pulled up to a small diner and invited Harold inside. They sat at a booth, and Snoop, still in disguise, listened as Harold shared stories of his life, his late wife, and the passengers he had met over the years. Finally, Snoop reached into his jacket and slid an envelope across the table. "Inside there's enough to pay off your debts and let you retire. You done served the streets long enough, OG. It's time you rest." Harold's hands trembled as he opened the envelope, revealing a check with 6 figures written on it. His voice broke. Why would you do this for me?" Snoop took off his glasses and cap, revealing his true identity. Harold gasped. "Snoop Dogg." "Oh, my lord," Snoop chuckled. "Yeah, man. But today, I was just your driver. Now go enjoy your life, my guy." Tears rolled down Harold's face as he whispered, "Thank you." Snoop stood up, gave him a firm handshake, and walked out of the diner with a smile. That night, Harold finally went home knowing he'd never have to work another shift again. And Snoop? He drove off into the city, ready to change another life.